So an update on what we found out about the Polaris Sportsman 570, what's wrong with it. We tried a few different ATV shops around here in West Virginia, and we finally, we didn't have any luck. A couple of them were closed, and we finally wound up going to a place called Ziggy's Power Sports, which is over in I believe it's Herndon, West Virginia. It's over near the Indian Ridge campground, and they were very helpful. They took the machine in and immediately looked at it, and they had two really good mechanics there. After, I'd say, probably no more than 30 minutes of the mechanics looking at it with my dad, they determined that the engine is locked up on the Polaris. They said they have seen this happen before. They've had a few units come through the shop over the years that are 570 Polaris engines that have locked up like this. They said it could be any number of things. You know, it could be a connecting rod, you know, it could be anything internal. What they determined was when they looked at the oil, is it still was full of oil. The oil was clean, it was full. However, the oil was had a very high contents of metal shavings in it when they inspected it. And so they recommended that my dad, you know, take it back to the dealer, Polaris dealer, and you know, get the dealer to handle it, and you know, potentially also try to get Polaris involved about having the engine rebuilt. They said that that's why the starter will not turn the engine over. It's because the engine's completely locked up. And so basically, that explains why it shut down, and also why, when it was attempted to be restarted, even with a jump pack, that the starter could not budge the engine over, is that it's locked up. So yeah, the machine only has 1,100 miles on it. It's a 2021 model. Both of the mechanics said that there's no reason why this engine should, you know, have locked up, blown up, whatever you want to call it, like this. You know, that low a mileage, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's a component failure internally in the engine, is what they are blaming it on. But like I said, they've seen it happen before, they said, with other 570s. And it's unfortunate because it didn't even give my dad a warning that anything was wrong. He, you know, he'd been riding it. The oil, he checked the oil, it was full before the ride. It was clean. You know, the engine wasn't trying to overheat. It wasn't making any kind of weird sounds. It wasn't down on power. It wasn't smoking. You know, any of the things that you would think it would do if your engine was about to fail on you, you know, and lock up like that. So it's just it's a mystery. I mean, he kept that machine maintained regularly since they've had it, and they haven't had it that long. And so it's very unfortunate, you know. They've basically not been able to, they're not going to be able to do anything with it until they get back home and take it back to the dealer they bought it from, because you know, there are Polaris dealers around here, but they're still, you know, I think a couple hours away within the state from where we're at. And being that, you know, my dad and we don't live around here, he's not going to take it to a dealer and leave it up here, and then he has to go back home in a couple of days, you know, and then have to drive all the way back up here to pick the machine up. That would not make much sense. So he's planning to take it back to the dealer it was bought from, you know, and try and see if they'll work with him, you know, on about what the next steps are going to be. I mean, obviously, in order for the machine to run again, the mechanics at Ziggy's, you know, said the engine would have to be rebuilt, obviously. But yeah, Ziggy's was very helpful. They got a nice shop, friendly staff there. They're real knowledgeable, you know. They got a lot of parts and stuff on hand, and you know, they looked at the machine, you know, and they diagnosed it and didn't even charge my dad anything for telling him what was wrong, which was really nice. A lot of places wouldn't do that, you know. So you know, big shout out to Ziggy's Power Sports over there in Herndon, West Virginia, over in the Indian Ridge Trail area. You know, they came through when some of the other shops, you know, weren't able to around. I think it's safe to say, you know, that if you need something, or repairs or parts, or they even sell non-ethanol fuel there as well, that they're a good place if you're in that area to stop and you know, get help or stock up on what you need. So but yeah, I guess you know, we'll try to keep things updated on the Polaris as time goes along. When I find out more from my dad exactly, you know, what the dealer that he purchased it from is going to do to help them out, you know, on this machine. You know, it's just, it really doesn't make sense, you know, for it to have that low a mileage on it. And you know, my dad, he's, you know, he's an older guy, you know, he's not abusive to the machine and all that. So it's again, it doesn't make sense, you know, as to why the engine would lock up like that, you know, just out of the blue. It's not an operator thing. I can attest to that, you know. It's just very unfortunate for them, you know. It's obviously left it's left a sour impression on them. They've had a couple of issues with the machine, other issues. I have not, you know, I've not done a follow-up review on the machine since I did that initial impressions review of it. But they had a couple of other things come up with the machine that were right after they got it, and they had to take it back to the dealer. The first thing was a blown shock on the rear. I think it was the right rear shock. The second time they took it out on a trail ride, the shock blew, and it was leaking oil everywhere on their trailer out of the shock. And so they took it back to the dealer, and the dealer replaced that. But they kept the machine forever, you know, doing that. But it was replaced. So they got that done, and then I reckon it was several months later, not too much later from that, the throttle cable froze up. It like, it didn't, it quit working. And they had to take it back to the dealer for that. At the time, they didn't really know that's what it was, and then the dealer diagnosed it, because I think it was something like it would, I don't know if it was, I'm trying to remember what my dad said, it would start up and it would idle, but he couldn't get it to accelerate or something like that. Something along the lines of that, if I remember right. And so anyway, that throttle cable and linkage had to be replaced. And then other than that, the only time it had been back to the dealer was for servicing. And like I said, he took it to a Polaris dealer each time to have it serviced, and had it greased, oil changed, all the fluids, everything, air filter cleaned, all that stuff. Which, I mean, he kept the air filter cleaned himself too, even though the dealer was doing it after they'd get back from riding. He would, he'd clean the air filter out and everything like that. So anyway, the machine was very well maintained. So it's a shame that this has happened. But anyway, like I said, just have to stay tuned, and see what happens with the the dealer as far as what they're going to do. That's all I know to say right now. But just wanted to give an update on it and let everybody know what happened exactly, because we were baffled by it too. First of all, why it shut off in the first place, and then it, you turned the key to start it and it was just click. And then you get, you think something like, oh, maybe it's a starter solenoid or something like that. Of course, that really wouldn't explain why the engine shut off if it was already running. But then it turns into something way more, you get some really sad news, that it's something way more major, that the engine is shot, blocked up at 1,100 miles. So anyway, just stay tuned. We'll try to keep some update on it, the situation as we learn more about it.